Are you ready to get your health back but feel overwhelmed by the endless healthcare options? We believe God has called each of us to a specific assignment, and we want to make sure your body, mind, and heart are up for the task. It's time to simplify the process of healing. At Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer simple, effective, easy ways to prioritize your health and gain understanding. No prescription pad needed. I'm Kari, a pharmacist turned integrative health practitioner. I'm so excited to have these conversations around topics with my friend, Jenn.
Hi there, I'm Jenn, and together with our team at Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer an alternative to traditional healthcare, combining our expertise and experience in the medical field with our knowledge and faith to break the cycles of guessing what's wrong. We know the road to healing, feeling good again, can be overwhelming. You can expect honest conversations around the ups and downs of healing. The truth is, there are so many layers to healing. Because we've taken the time to learn where true healing comes from, we've learned how to help other women to discover a different way of caring for themselves. Join us every week for new episodes as we discuss topics that are personal and pertinent to your healing journey.
Hi, guys. It's Kari and Jenn here on another episode of the podcast. We are diving into a topic today that's maybe unusual, but I feel like is one that crosses people's minds a lot. And that is my health worth investing in? Like, is it worth the investment to work with somebody on my health in like a holistic way? I'm not sure that we've heard the question posed to us, but I know that in the conversations that we've had, I feel like it's sort of an underlying thing that maybe people aren't really verbalizing. And so I think sometimes, especially if you feel like you've tried other things and they haven't necessarily worked out the way that you wanted them to, there's definitely a risk there that feels, it's just very heavy. You've already spent money on things that didn't work. And you just are kind of scared to do it again and it not work. And so we definitely understand that and have seen that a lot. We work with a lot of people that have worked with others or purchased things or own a lot of supplements, but I do want to just in this, obviously the name implies money, but I think this isn't just about cost. It's about your time and your effort and just, the
investment beyond money.
What now? Investment beyond money.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we kind of wanted to just talk about this a little bit. What are your thoughts on this, Jenn?
Well, I think for people who maybe are interested in health or understand and follow kind of the MAHA movement or and not to bring politics into it, but, are into, just supporting themselves naturally. I think it's understandable and they understand spending, something that's outside their insurance to feel better because healthcare is really a sick model and this is a wellness model, right? And so it makes sense to them. I'm going to spend money to keep me well or to help me get well versus sick care, right? That's paid for maybe through insurance. But for other people who maybe are outside that space, who grew up in sort of quote unquote mainstream medicine or, they grew up with, just, and it works for them, right? It's harder to see how, using maybe more natural methods and, paying out of pocket for it is necessary.
Right.
And so, depending on where you're coming from, I would say that, being in this space, and really I grew up with this type of thing. My dad was taking supplements in the 70s before it was even kind of popular and cool to take care of his health. But I would say that if you're looking for true health, you have to be an advocate for yourself because it's very hard to find health and healing in the sense of root cause in mainstream medicine. And this is not a knock on mainstream. Listen, like I get in a car wreck, I wanna go to the emergency room and I want pain meds, right? But for chronic metabolic conditions, I just feel like sometimes you have to take matters into your own hand and spend your own money.
Yeah.
And so, it just and I get both sides of the coin, depending on your perspective. But I would say if, you grew up and ate the traditional, standard American diet, maybe on some anxiety or depression meds, took many courses of antibiotics, and are interested in looking at this more root cause wellness model, it really is worth the investment, for your health.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what I heard you say is a lot of times it is about mindset. Where is your mindset around health? Are you just trying to fix what's going on and you just want a quick fix, or are you really
Right.
thinking about prevention? Like, I think that's definitely 2 different
Yeah,
mindsets
this
around
is
health.
definitely not a quick fix. This
No.
like, if you want the quick fix, you're not in the right spot.
Right, right. And I feel like what I've seen happen in the, like, more the holistic, wellness space is that people are offering more quick fixes that are just more natural. Like, I mean, they're offering just take this supplement or buy this expensive device,
Right.
and that to me still
Run
that
if you
that
need
to me
to.
still feels like a quick fix, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it really is. And again, are those quick fixes better than taking a prescription? Yes, they are. But
probably,
do they
yeah,
really get to the root of what's going on? I mean, maybe, not normally though, is what I've seen. And people kind of get burnt out. Like, I've already spent this money on these supplements or this expensive device or whatever it is. And, you know, one other thing that came to mind is that both health and money are very personal. They're very, they're just, yeah, it's just something that maybe even we have a lot of fear around in their on their own, right? Money and then
right,
health. And it's just hard to have been disappointed in the past, maybe, and to, like, trust somebody to walk with you like that. That's a very personal thing. But we're very passionate about that because we've seen that really makes a lot of difference. You need that,
right,
because it is so personal and it is so deep. But I think that's why the fear kind of exists around investing in that maybe. And
absolutely.
but I think it's, I do encourage, though, because of how personal it is to take time to find the right person. And
Absolutely.
anytime we have inquiry calls, I know I can speak for Jen too, like, we are wanting to make sure it's a good fit on both sides. We want to
Absolutely.
make sure that they feel like the Lord has led them here. It's a good fit. They're gonna get what they, are paying
Need.
for, what they
Right.
need. So I think that's really, really important. And, just like the conventional doctors too, right? I mean, not that I'm saying shop around, but, like, it should be a good fit. If it's not, then go find somebody else, because you don't have to stay with somebody
Right.
that doesn't serve you well.
Right, and as I mentioned before, when we talk about investment, and we're really talking about beyond money too, while we focus on the money, the investment of time, because in natural root cause healing, your investment of time is real. Doing the natural daily rhythms, getting your sunlight, making sure you're eating whole foods, those sorts of things. So the investment in yourself of time, um, beyond just the resources is something that something else that is really real for this
Yeah.
type of um, healthcare versus sick care, right? Um, and so it's we're not just working on the physical, right? It's while we initially, right, just really do focus on the physical,
Mhm.
it's more emotional and spiritual too. It's getting your energy back, getting your sleep, so that you can be present with your family. You can have the emotional stability, so you're not irritable. You can have the spiritual clarity that comes. And all of those are, a part of the ROI, the return on investment,
Right.
whether it's money, whether it's time. When you invest in your health, you're not just buying the protocol, you're really giving your mind, body, and spirit conditions where you can show up for what matters most.
And you can't really put a price tag on that sometimes,
Oh
right?
gosh,
Like,
no.
no, I mean, you just can't. And I get sometimes that's harder to see, especially when you like really don't feel good and you're just like, I just want to feel better. You can't really see past that. And there's just there's so much complexity
Right.
around, just health in general because it's there's so many different facets of physical health, but also obviously the emotional, spiritual that we talk about. It's just wide reaching. And so, yeah, I think it's really important. This is why I feel like it's very important to have somebody to walk with you on your journey because we can see further than you can because you are just I wanna feel better, but we're like, "No, we can see how this is affecting you in other parts of your life and also what the ROI is going to be whenever you do feel better." And just, encouraging you and, reminding you of those things and helping to, shift your mindset is something that I think is very important that can really make a lot of difference. Um
Yeah. Especially if you grew up in, kind of mainstream, right? Which is more of a quick fix. This is really, because we focus on foundations first, every dollar goes toward lasting change, change that will stay because it's root cause versus just a quick fix.
Right. And I think it's, good to mention and just think about, like, if you're considering, investing in whatever it might be, it's, working with somebody or, you know, whatever, fill in the blank. You have to assess the cost of not investing because, what happens if nothing changes? Are you not gonna feel better physically? Are you not gonna be able to show up for your family and your kids or your job or whatever it might be? Are you losing do you have to take time off work all the time? You know, et cetera. So and there's also a financial cost of chasing stuff. Doctor's visits, just more and more supplements, sick days, those types of things that it's just frustrating. I know that a lot of people do this with their kids, right? Their kids have an ear infection like every month and they have to take off to take them to the doctor. Or maybe it's you, right? Just constantly needing help, but not really finding a solution. Maybe it's just another prescription or another round of antibiotics or whatever it might be. And that there's an emotional cost to that because that's very
Amen.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean,
Discouraging,
yeah, you just feel
discouraging.
stuck. I mean, and
Yes.
and a lot of people though come and they don't really have much hope because maybe they've been led to think that there's nothing they can do about what's going on from a
Right.
doctor. They've been told that. Been given a diagnosis and just said, "You're gonna take this medication for your whole life." Or maybe it's, they've even worked with somebody in the functional medicine wellness space, and they just didn't really feel like they got answers, but they got a lot of supplements.
Yeah.
We see that a lot too. And, yeah, so there's definitely, an emotional component to it as well, and I think sometimes that fear keeps us from not stepping out. But, you know, God God has so much more for us, and if this is on your heart, then there's probably, something that you need to work through, right? That it's an invitation to work through some of those fears and, trust Him with what He has for the next step.
Yeah. Amen. Because, while a lot of people think they're investing in a program, which it is a program, but you're investing in your future self, right? You're more present for your family, more present for yourself, more present for what God called you to do. And, if that speaks to you, then this type of healthcare versus sick care might be something that you want to invest in monetarily and time wise.
Yeah. And, we really do, we want to be different, not just for the sake of being different but because we feel a strong pull that God has called us to do things differently than maybe
Hmm.
other people even in the holistic space do. So we don't believe in quick fixes. We really, and I mean, obviously sometimes you need extra support up front to
Right.
help,
To be
but
comfortable.
yeah, but we're focused on what is the actual root cause of this. And again, like Jen has said, and we also did a whole episode on this about how we focus on the foundations first. So that that's super key if you want lasting change and to really get to the root of the issue. So, also with our team being 4 people, you're getting 4 for the price of 1, essentially. You're getting 4 eyes, 4 different perspectives, 4 people that are praying for you. And that's, to me, that's super unique. And I'm really thankful that God has put this team together. And I think it's just such a blessing to be able to, on this side, do this work with other people, but, to really help support clients in a very integrative and holistic way, with different perspectives.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about the investment, or whether it's, how we work, or, we really encourage you to book an inquiry call. We'll put it in the show notes, so that you can talk with us and see if it is a good fit for where you are in your journey. So thanks for tuning in. We love being here for you guys. If there's a special way that we can pray for you, please reach out. Till the next time. If this episode has served you in any way, drop a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd love it if you share any aha moments or takeaways on Instagram and tag us at Cornerstone Integrative Healing.
And if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. We want to continue to walk this journey with you. Until next time, friends, know that we are praying for you.